Now I'll ask you to do some reading. Read this story and answer the questions. Say the number of each question when you answer it.
Do I read it all out loud?
You can read it out loud or to yourself.
Okay. One is 25 years old. Two is C, disappointed. Three for a contest. And then 4 is A. It is based on about 1 week's work. And then 5 is 40.
Thank you. Read this story and answer the questions.
Number 1 is it doesn't rely on instruments. Well, the Richter scale doesn't. Does, and the Cali does not. 2 is D. Scientists can describe earthquakes using more than one scale. And 3. Why is it useful for studying it says it is valuable.
Read this story and answer the questions.
One toner, two they used to be liquid developers and now they're dry. Attracts the toner.
Read this story and answer the questions.
One is the steroid in the insect. The main focus is bearded dragon lizards.
Read this story and answer the questions.
It's leaves.
Tell me more.
Leaves which a tempest rolls up and scatters in every direction and then allows to fall.
Thank you.
Two mobility of crowds. Three B.
Thank you. Read this story and answer the questions.
One is verdi. D. Two is D. I think three is places like Italy and Germany. London.
These sentences are part of a paragraph, but they are not in the right order. Read the sentences and decide what order they should go in. Then say the numbers of the sentences in the proper order.
Three. 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1.
According to the passage, why did supernatural tales about mummies arise?
In response to the human desire to explain the inexplicable.
Read these sentences and say the numbers in the proper order.
Um, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5.
How did a Kylie differ from a boomerang?
It was a hunting tool or a weapon.
Thank you. You doing okay? Do you break it all? Now you're going to do some writing. Pretend you are spending a day at a movie studio helping on a new movie called Lost in Time. You'll have a chance to help the director and crew. You'll be asked to write some words and sentences. Write the best words and sentences you can. Don't worry if you don't know how to spell a word. Spelling doesn't count. Start by writing your full name on this ID badge. The stars need flowers. Here's the order to the florist. Sam, Dawn, and Felicia get tulips. Janet, Jet, roses. Write one word here to tell the florist to deliver roses to Janet, Jet.
Can you repeat that?
The stars need flowers. Here is the order to the florist. Sam, Dawn, and Felicia get tulips. Janet, Jet, roses. Write one word here to tell the florist to deliver roses to Janet, Jet. You are asked to edit a news release. Add punctuation marks where they are needed and circle the letters that should be capitalized. These are the four main characters: Lucia, Michael, Grace, and Dr. Jonas. In the first scene, Lucia can't start the spaceship's backup control system. She tells Dr. Jonas that they must have the ship ready by exactly 10 a.m. What happens next? You'll have to see the movie. Go ahead. Thank you. You are impressed that the child actors remember their lines so well. Write a sentence to the director complimenting the young actors on their talent. Use the words "in spite of" in your sentence. An appointment is scheduled for this afternoon. Here is a note about it. The chief of photographers coming this afternoon. Write one word to complete the sentence. The ad agency wants some inside information about the film. Write one sentence that includes all of these ideas. You'll want to see it twice, full of suspense, and amazing journey. Write one sentence including all of these ideas. Don't use the word "and" in your sentence. Sorry, I should have gotten it right to the pencil.
Okay.
The director asks you to write an answer to this fan letter. Dear Mr. Director, will you tell me what movie is your favorite? Signed, a fan. The director's note says, saw Night of Nights as a kid. Loved it. Based on his note, write one good sentence to the fan. Use the word "which" in your sentence.
Do I have to include this movie?
The director asks you to write an answer to this fan letter. Dear Mr. Director, will you tell me what movie is your favorite? Signed, a fan. The director's note says, saw Night of Nights as a kid. Loved it. Based on his note, write one good sentence to the fan. Use the word "which" in your sentence. Thank you. The director received this letter from Janet Jett. All stars' needs should come first. This contract breaks that rule. When we met, you said, as the star, Janet, You will get top billing in the credits. Add punctuation marks where they are needed, but don't change the capitalization. You are writing a report for the budget meeting. Here are your notes. Most sets are finished. Still need to hire a composer. Good composers cost a lot of money. Write one good sentence that includes these 3 ideas. Thank you for working hard on that. Here is a part of a magazine article about the actor Sam Lee. Mr. Lee's obvious skill would make you think he had a lot of training. He never attended acting school. Write one word to complete the sentence. In the movie, Dr. Jonas gives a speech about time travel. Here is part of his speech. The way we travel has changed greatly over the years. At one time, people couldn't imagine flying through the air in a plane. Someday, time travel will be just as commonplace. Write one good sentence to complete this paragraph. Thank you. Your school newspaper wants you to write a short article about your day on the set of Lost in Time. Write it here. You can continue on the back page if you wish. You will have 10 minutes.
To go.
Yeah, you can start.
An article.
Your school newspaper wants you to write a short article about your day on the set of Lost in Time. Write it here. You can continue on the back page if you wish. You will have 10 minutes.
Or is it like whenever I'm done?
You can be done if you're finished writing. Thank you. Any break or anything? When I say go, I want you to say as many foods as you can, like cookie or salad, for example. Say the foods as quickly as you can. Keep going until I tell you to stop. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Pasta, cookies, apples, bananas, oranges, grapes, grapefruit, watermelon, pineapple, bread, toast, salmon, chicken, eggs, cheese, rice, sour cream, corn. There's so many foods. Pizza, Chinese, sushi, cheeseburger, ham, gravy, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, beans, cinnamon rolls, brownies, cake, cupcakes.
Stop.
That's way harder for me than it should have been.
Thank you. When I say go, I want you to name as many colors as you can, like yellow or beige, for example. Say the colors as quickly as you can. Keep going until I tell you to stop. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, violet, periwinkle, black, white, gray, tan, beige, teal, indigo, cream, clear, gold, silver, plum, chrome, gray. Brown, maroon, navy.
Stop. Thank you. Now I will say a word. Use it in a sentence and say the word again. Then I want you to write the word. If you're not sure how to spell a word, just take a guess. Write the first word here. Germ. A germ can be dangerous. Germ.
I say the same sentence.
Now I will say a word, use it in a sentence, and say the word again. Then I want you to write the word. If you're not sure how to spell a word, just take a guess. Write the first word here. Would. Would you please help me? Would. Waited. We waited for the movie to start. Waited. Reached. I reached up to catch the ball. Reached. She's. Do you know where she's going? She's. While. I played a game while I waited. While. Roasted. The corn roasted over the fire. Roasted. Wrongly. They were wrongly blamed for the mistake. Wrongly. Bridge. We crossed the bridge. Bridge. Worried. The children worried about their cat. Worried. Knocked. I knocked on the door. Knocked. Construction. The building is under construction. Construction. Squirted. The orange squirted when I bit into it. Squirted. Physical. The doctor performed a physical exam. Physical. Hungrier. I have never felt hungrier than I do now. Hungrier. Misfortune. Keep hoping, even in misfortune. Misfortune. Definition. No one knew the definition of the word. Definition. Irregular. This job requires irregular hours. Irregular. Splitting. We watched the man splitting logs. Splitting. Schedule. They read tomorrow's schedule. Schedule.
Would you write it?
No, it's okay. I'm trying to show the numbers so I can read it. Thank you, though. Appreciate. I appreciate your hard work. Appreciate. Exhaust. The bus's exhaust was dirty. Exhaust. Desperate. They were desperate to join the game. Desperate. Regretted. They regretted their cruel words. Regretted. Exaggerate. Some players exaggerate their abilities. Exaggerate. Consensus. The committee reached a consensus. Consensus. Deceive. The lie was meant to deceive you. Deceive. Definitely. They definitely will arrive by noon. Definitely. Accommodate. This room can accommodate 10 people. Accommodate. Poignant. This movie tells a poignant story. Poignant. Thank you. Mnemonic. I used a mnemonic to help me remember. Mnemonic. Liaison. A lawyer will act as the liaison between the parties involved. Liaison. Hemorrhage. Pressure was applied to stop the hemorrhage. Hemorrhage. Thank you for working hard on that. So then, okay, you break or anything? Thank you. So, sides of this. Okay. Now I'll ask you to say the names of some pictures. What is this?
Book.
What is this?
Bird.
What is this?
Ball.
What is this?
Cat.
What is this?
Cup.
What is this?
Key.
Now say the names of these pictures. You can use your finger to point if you want.
Ball. Cat. Cup. Book. Key. Bird.
When I turn the page, you will see more of these pictures. Start at the top and go across the page. Say the names of the pictures as fast as you can without making mistakes. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Begin.
Cat. Cup. Book. Ball. Key. Bird. Cat. Book. Key. Bird. Cat. Ball. Cup. Bird. Key. Cat. Ball. Book. Cup. Bird. Key. Bird. Ball. Cup. Key. Cat. Book. Ball. Ball. Book. Key. Cup. Bird. Cat. Book.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Now do it one more time. When I turn the page, say the names of the pictures as fast as you can. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Cup. Book.
Begin.
Cup. Book. Cat. Ball. Bird. Cat. Key. Cat. Ball. Key. Bird. Book. Key. Cup. Book. Key. Ball. Cat. Cup. Book. Bird. Key. Bird. Book. Cup. Cat. Bird. Ball. Ball. Cup. Bird. Book. Key. Ball. Cat.
Thank you. Now I will ask you to read some sentences. Let's do the first one together. This question is, which word means over? The bird flew above the roof. Which word in this sentence can mean over?
Above.
Above can mean the same as over. So the answer is above. Let's try another one. The question is, which word means cold? Her drink was icy and sweet. Which word in this sentence can mean cold?
Icy.
The answer is icy, because icy can mean the same as cold. When I turn the page, you will see more sentences. Read each question and sentence carefully, and then say or point to the answer. Do you have any questions?
Nope. Which word means catch? Grab the ball before you run. Grab. Which word means near? She was by Joe in line. By. Which word means cap? The lid fits on the jar. This jar. Lid. Which word means tiny? The small brown kitten was sleeping near the new chair. Small.
Thank you.
Which word means rattled? As the window shook, she struggled to open the latch. Shook. Which word means grin? His smile showed that he felt lucky during the game. Smile. Which word means suppose? They could only guess the problem's most satisfying answer. Guess. Which word means brave? Urging her to jump, they quickly tested her fearless nature. Fearless.
Thank you.
Which word means collapse? A single careless remark after years of trust and support caused the partnership to fail. Fail. Which word means travel? The passenger was eager to ride near the coast despite many hours on the road. Road. Which word means spare? Her young brother said quietly that the extra candle had burned too hot and quickly. Extra. And then which word means center? She was the first person in the group to understand the core of the problem. Core.
Thank you. You don't have to read them out loud if you don't want to. You can.
Oh, okay. I don't need to read the sentence either. Out loud. Just say the word.
Yeah. Yes.
Separate. Moist. Thin. Earned. Or exchange. If I can change my answer. Insensitive. Callous. Pressing. Recover. Long. Expect. Solution. Nimble. responsibility, piercing, smug, appease, neglecting, preservation, prevalent, and solid, fee, distinguished, logical, demanding, reassure. If I don't know, should I just guess? Like I should just say one. If I don't know for sure.
Just do your best.
Greed, shortage, preclude, hiding, renowned, desperate,
Thank you for working hard on that. ask you to say the names of some letters. What letter is this?
T.
What letter is this?
S.
What letter is this?
D.
What letter is this?
P.
What letter is this?
C.
What letter is this?
B.
Now say the names of these letters.
P.
You can use your finger to point if you want.
P. C. B. T. D. S.
When I turn the page, you will see more of these letters. Start at the top and go across the page. Say the names of the letters as fast as you can without making mistakes. Ready? Begin.
B. C. T. S. D. P. C. V. T. P. T. D. B. S. C. T. P. D. C. D. S. P. T. D. B. C. S. B. P. T. D. S. C. S. V. T. P. V. D. S. C. V. T. P. D.
Thank you. Now do it one more time. When I turn the page, say the names of the letters as fast as you can. Ready? Begin.
P. S. D. T. C. V. T. S. D. S. T. P. V. S. C. T. D. P. P. D. V. C. T. S. D. P. V. C. V. P. D. S. T. V. C. S. V. C. T. S. D. P. C. V. T.
Thank you. You are going to hear a short story. Listen carefully, and then I will ask you some questions about the story. Ready? Listen.
How did car makers of the past design a new car without the computers they rely on today? First, they drew a picture of the car. Then they made a 3-foot-long model. Once everyone liked the design, artists shaped a life-size model out of clay so it would be easy to make small changes. Next, they carved a detailed wooden model. Finally, they cut the wooden model into pieces and used these pieces as patterns for the steel parts that would become the new car.
What book might this paragraph appear in? Listen to these titles. A. Early Car Design. B. Computers and Design. C. Making Steel Patterns. D. The History of Detroit.
Early car design.
After the clay model, what material did car makers use for the next model?
Wood.
In the early years, what was the first step in designing a car?
Paper model.
What was the benefit of using clay to make a model?
They could change it easily.
Why did they cut up the wooden model?
To help design the seal model.
Ready? Listen.
Ming Fei was at home eating lunch when the whole world shuddered. Plates on the table vibrated and then began to bounce. Ming Fei felt as though his chair was trying to throw him off. Suddenly, the music from the radio stopped and the lights went out. This same thing had happened just a year ago, and Ming Fei knew that he should stand in a doorway to protect himself in case the house started to crumble. But as quickly as it began, the earthquake stopped.
What did the earthquake feel like to Ming Fei? Listen to these choices. Like riding in an elevator, like riding a merry-go-round, like parachuting, D, like riding a wild horse.
Can you repeat them?
What did the earthquake feel like to Ming Fei? Listen to these choices. A, like riding in an elevator. B, like riding a merry-go-round. C, like parachuting. D, like riding a wild horse.
D?
How did Ming Fei know that he should stand in a doorway?
Because it happened last year.
How do we know that the power went off?
The radio and the lights went out.
Thank you. Thank you. Ready? Listen.
The world's oldest homes are probably the mammoth bone houses, found in the Ukraine, and built more than 18,000 years ago. So far, the remains of 5 of these homes have been discovered. It most likely took about 5 or 6 days to build each of these houses. The builders used bones of giant mammoths to construct a frame, and then they covered the frame with animal skins. The completed house, which could hold about 10 people, often had a hearth and a work area. Tools, jewelry, and figurines have been uncovered in the remains.
According to the passage, what was the first step in building one of these houses?
Using bones to make the frame.
Besides bones, what were the walls and roof made of?
Animal skin.
About how long did it probably take to build a house?
5 or 6 days.
In what country are these houses located?
Ukraine.
Ready? Listen.
The Arabian or Arab horse is coveted for its beauty, stamina, speed, and gentleness. Many stories have evolved about this animal's origin. One legend suggests that the horses descend from 7 prized horses owned by King Solomon of Israel. Another legend from Muslim folklore claims the first Arabian horses belonged to the founder of Islam, the Prophet Muhammad. Wherever this breed originated, little doubt exists that these horses were bred to withstand long treks across arid lands.
According to the passage, which of these words does not describe Arabian horses? Listen to these choices. A. Swift. B. Unpredictable. C. Beautiful. D. Gentle. E. Hardy.
Unpredictable.
Name one of the people who, according to legend, owned Arabian horses.
Muhammad.
Name 2 reasons why someone might want an Arabian horse rather than another kind of horse.
2 reasons. They can do long treks and they're gentle.
Thank you. Ready? Listen.
Nearly 1,000 years ago, Vikings roamed widely on the seas, traveling as far west as the Americas. The sea was so important to them that it came to symbolize a passage to the afterlife, and burial places took on a seafaring theme. One of the most intriguing of such sites, located in Sweden, is called the Ale Stones. Here, Vikings used 58 upright stones to form the outline of a ship 200 feet long, with taller stones set at each end. By burying their comrades with their vessels, or with structures such as the ale stones that symbolize ships, the Vikings sought to help them make the mystical journey from the living world to what they called the other world.
In what country are the Ale Stones located?
Sweden.
What would be a good title for this paragraph? Listen to these choices. A. Stone structures in Sweden. B. Ancient shipbuilders. C. Viking burial practices. D. Viking conquests.
Viking burial practices.
Where did Vikings believe they were taken by ship after they died?
To the sea. The other world.
Thank you. Ready? Listen.
$1,600 ago, the city of Rome boasted 28 public libraries. At that time, books were written by hand on long strips of parchment that were rolled onto sticks. Each Roman library kept a catalog of all the parchments it possessed. If you wanted to read a book by Aristotle, you first looked for its number in the catalog. Next, you found the case where that parchment was stored. Finally, you matched the catalog number to the one printed on a ticket attached to the parchment. Once you found your book, you could not take it home with you. Everyone in Rome read the scrolls in the library.
Which of the following is the best title for this paragraph? Listen to these titles. A. Ancient Roman Libraries. B. Ancient Roman Literature. C. The Invention of Cataloging. D. Books on Parchment.
Ancient Roman libraries.
How would you peek at the ending of a parchment book?
The number on the ticket?
According to the passage, what are two ways in which ancient Roman libraries were similar to modern libraries?
They're organized in cases, and maybe there's still a catalog to find your book.
Ready? Listen.
The odd-looking caps worn at school graduation ceremonies have a name with a surprising origin. Their design can be traced to the 16th century, when church dignitaries wore hats with tops that, although floppy and relatively small, were square in shape. By the 1700s, the traditional garb of university students included a skull cap, to which was attached a stiff, square top. Stonemasons likened the hats to the boards that held mortar for bricks. Initially intended as a joke, the name mortarboard has stuck, like mortar, for centuries.
This passage is about the origin of which of the following? Listen to these choices. A proverb. B, a name. C, a superstition. D, a building material. E, a university.
Building material?
Who were the first people to wear the square-shaped hats?
I can't remember.
Who came up with this name, mortarboard?
Also can't remember.
How did the original square hats differ from the students' square hats?
They were smaller in shape.
Ready? Listen.
Like many other strategically located navigable rivers, New York's Hudson River has been abused. Industrialization along its banks so polluted the water that by the 1950s, the fish and wildlife were nearly gone. But the Hudson also illustrates how, with proper care, nature can recover. Government regulations and private educational efforts revived the river. The Clearwater Educational Group, formed by folk singer Pete Seeger, was especially important in this campaign. In their boat, the Clearwater, these advocates sailed up and down the Hudson, teaching about the river's ecology and encouraging support for anti-pollution laws.
What two types of action brought the river back to life?
Private education and government policies.
What is the main idea of the passage?
Do I have options or is it
It's just how you best can summarize what the main idea.
How you can restore polluted, industrialized rivers?
Thank you for working so hard on that one. And the break, or you still doing okay?
How much do we have left?
3 more.
Can I get my drink?
Yeah, of course you can. Take a break. Pause this.